Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me again today. My name is General Confusion, and this is Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. So, it is mission year 2275, our economy is rolling, our labs are pumping out the discoveries, commerce is good, life is going pretty well, we have wiped out the Morganites, and we've just been attacked by the Spartans, who are down here. So, we're going to be going to war with them pretty soon. We have Ocean Flower over here, we're going to start up another sea base right in this area, and that will give us a location to base aircraft for use to strike against this base, whatever it is there. So, we're not really focusing on military buildup right at the moment, because frankly we have a lot of military units already, just kind of waiting to go, as well as a significant air force based in our coastal bases somewhere. They're moving along. I can actually look at our defense network right now, military command nexus, and see what all we have in terms of military. We have 5 missile needle jets, only 1 missile battery, we have not built much artillery, 2 missile skim ships active, a trained missile squads, 7. What else we got? Missile foils, none active. Where's our rovers? I know we have several rovers. Ah yes, missile speeder and missile rover, 4 active. We have none of the fusion missile speeders, just because we haven't yet upgraded our weaponry. We don't really need to, at least not as a matter of urgency, but we can start to upgrade some of these missile squads here to the trained missile infantry. We can even upgrade them to the Mark II. Oh, we only have 37 energy credits right now because it's the end of the turn. Alright, well, just upgrading to that one. Oh, no, we still don't have that. Alright, end turn.
Enemy project initiated.
Brother Lau is building the planetary data links, which is fine. Bully for him, he can do that.
Maximum population reached.
Alright, now we are going to do a little bit of upgrading. We're going to upgrade you to the Trained Missile Infantry Mark II. We are going to upgrade you to the Trained Missile Infantry Mark II. And then we're going to upgrade you to the Trained Missile Infantry Mark II. And that will use up pretty much all of our money. This transport foil, meanwhile, is going to move down to Ocean Flower. That missile needle jet is fine. Yeah, I can't always cancel orders when I click on unit, actually. You need to come down there. You, meanwhile, are going to go on a little bit of a scouting run. We have a couple of small, worthless islands right here. This transport foil can move over here to help move the military around. Forest Primeval is going to be a little bit badly named because, while it does have lots of forests, and its forests are valuable and I like them, we're going to move off that. We're going to take that forest, actually, for the extra mineral. So this place is now producing plus 20 minerals, which is very nice. We're going to build another borehole over there. Veil of Winds also has a borehole. 21312. Yeah, take that space. And then we have a fungus space right there that we're going to turn into forest. Because for all our vaunted love of planet, really what we love is earth plants. Delicious, delicious earth plants and their delicious, delicious mineral output. Why don't you go over there and get some work done. Morgan Metallurgy has built a fusion sea colony pod, and now it should build a tree farm. Actually, what it should build is a former. Yeah, fungicidal fusion former. You, meanwhile, go down here. That's a good place to build a base. This fungicidal fusion former is going to put a farm and a condenser on that nutrient space. This former here has already put a farm and a condenser there, so Morgan Interstellar, if I can ever click on Morgan Interstellar. There we go, 311 as opposed to 122. Yeah, I'll take the extra growth for right now. You keep extracting minerals. You go down there and put something on that. You wait. Oh, here come the believers.
Turn complete.
I saw her face. She's a believer. We're just going to keep building up infrastructure for right now. We may want to build... We definitely actually do want to build more sea combat units in the near future. So Razorbeak Wood, for instance, should switch over to missile foils here. After it builds that, Veil of Winds, it's doing fine. Forest Primeval, Sky Hydroponics Lab, Hab Complex, and then Fusion Planet Buster? Nah, I'm gonna hold off for a bigger boom. Instead, Forest Primeval can get us some la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. Forest Primeval cannot build sea units, actually, because it's not quite on the coast. So instead, they can build more Sky Hydroponics Labs. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Production complete.
Okay, we've got a Rec Commons down here. Great. Also build a tree farm. Actually, we have a significant military lined up right here. It's old-fashioned, but old-fashioned is good enough. So start building fusion transports.
Request confirmation.
A
Production
ship at
complete.
sea is its own world. To be the captain of a ship is to be the unquestioned ruler of that world and requires all of the leadership skills of a prince or minister. Colonel Corazon Santiago, Leadership and the Sea.
Okay, so Doctrine Initiative is the technology that makes actual domination of the sea possible. With Doctrine Initiative, we can build naval yards, which are the equivalent of command centers or aerospace complexes for sea units. We can build the Maritime Control Center, which is a naval yard in every base. It's a secret project. It acts as a naval yard in every base, and it also gives all sea units +2 move. So it makes you faster than everybody else on the ocean, which is a huge advantage. We can build cruisers, which are a larger sea hull that have 6 move as base, and we can build amphibious pods, which are a unit upgrade that allows our infantry to make attacks directly from a sea unit. So we can now build marines. They also unlock nanometallurgy and Homo Superior, another of those philosophical advances that actually, when you think about it, are not entirely philosophical. So we can now have missile marines. We still don't have neural grafting, which normally comes before this. We've just missed it because we haven't been focusing on conflict, on, conquer technologies. So we can get missile marines. We can get the missile cruiser, which has a high prototype cost. We could take off its armor, but that would only save us 12, so I like having the armor. We can have a fusion cruiser transport. Putting armor on the fusion cruiser transport costs nothing, so let's do that. So now, instead of a fusion transport, why don't you switch over to a fusion destroyer transport. Yep, retool for fusion destroyer transport.
Energy.
Down here, aerospace complex, super collider. I need to find my best mineral base because I want the Maritime Control Center. So Autumn Grove is building a Sky Hydroponics Lab. That'll take it 4 turns, and after it does that, we are going to get the Maritime Control Center. This missile needlejet, meanwhile, can fly to Accretion Discovery and head down. We're still building fusion speeder supplies here. Why is that? Oh, because we have these mines. That's fine, then. You do all of that, and then build a tree farm. So Morgan Interstellar is going to be our main mineral base up here in former Morganite territory, it's looking like. Because they already have +20 minerals, and they're not even using that mine yet. So once we use that mine, and then we can build boreholes probably there, and we will be rocking and rolling. This guy here, he'll go down there.
Cannot execute order.
Yeah, get the borehole instead, because we will extract the nutrients that way. So this fusion sea colony pod, that's probably all the fusion sea colony pods we need for the moment. Instead, build yourself an aerospace complex so you can get those sweet free nutrients. And you, meanwhile, will go... we have plenty of nutrient resources over there, but it's not hard to get nutrients in the ocean. So instead, let's go over to the energy. Transport foil, move in there. Yep. You have to go through all of those, unfortunately. This disciplined transport should get in there as well, and you can board it, and you can board it. So we are going to be fighting this war against the Spartans with obsolete technology, just because we don't really have the time We don't end the need
Turn
to
complete.
upgrade our military first. We are just going to take the army that we have to war and
Turn complete.
land and at least take out a Spartan base and take it over. So down here, that guy's already moved. Up here we have the army that destroyed Morgan, waiting in Morgan Energy Monopoly for their transport to be finished. This transport also has a much larger carrying capacity than a foil transport. It can carry 4 units in one transport. Elk Forest. Atresia Discovery has gotten its I've lost my words. It's aerospace complex, and so it can build a sky hydroponics lab. Yeah, use the forest instead of that. Actually, oh wow, you're kind of low on nutrients, aren't you? Oh, because Atresia Discovery doesn't have any, what do you call it? Doesn't have any condenser spaces.
Production complete.
That's unfortunate. Why can't I put somebody on that square? Rocky and moist mine. Yeah, it's just a mine. Well, oh well.
Terraform complete.
A new thermal borehole has raised temperatures dramatically. Okay, get a farm. Build a base.
Request confirmation.
Get that plasma garrison up quickly. And then we will have some fungicidal fusion sea formers, and then a recreation commons, and then we'll see where we go from there. Alright, and you are going to go down to, well, actually, hold off for a second because we're about to build a base down here. Great Lagoon.
Insufficient energy.
That'll take us 2 turns to finish those guys. Then we're going to get our formers up, and then a rec commons. And my missile needle jets are going to head down to Great Lagoon. As are my transport foils. And we'll do just a little bit of needle jet scouting. So my transports are all going to assemble right near Great Lagoon. And then we will conduct a mass landing on Spartan territory.
Maximum population reached.
We've got a farm there. We're also going to build a condenser. E is going to that mine to scoop up minerals per year. I think Morgan Interstellar is now probably our most mineral profitable base by 1 point.
Insufficient energy.
That guy is going to build a condenser and a farm on that resource there. University Base now has 2 boreholes and is making 18 minerals. Still with eco damage 0 because of all the forests and the tree farms and what all.
Request confirmation.
We're going to build a tree farm there, actually. And then this fusion destroyer transport, I'm going to hurry up. And this guy will go down to... Monitoring station is getting its 2nd borehole right now. So also, I haven't done this yet, but I can use the engineer now. So, on bases that have plenty of nutrient resource and I'm not planning to use for industrial production, I'll use Garden of the Deep as an example. These guys produce 3 nutrients and 3 energy. I don't need all that many nutrients, so I can turn these into engineer. They produce basically 5 energy directly. And that energy is then multiplied by our multiplier. So you see, if I have workers work in the sea, I end up with 2418 and 5 extra minerals, but I'm not producing many new minerals here in any case. If I turn them into engineers, well, in this case, since they're producing 3 energy and it then gets split up and multiplied, it doesn't help, but I can go through there. Now I'm up to 2818 with 3 engineers. I could go for another engineer, then I would have 3421, but then I'm short on nutrients, so I need 1 more worker to be producing nutrients for me. So right now, it's not really working out just because of the way the math works and because I already have spaces that are producing lots of energy over here. If we go to the Marine Institute, Like, this person, I already have one doctor that I can turn into an engineer, and then another engineer. Now I'm up to 9, 12. Just because these are not energy productive squares that I'm working there. But they'll just keep growing. And Oceanographic Lab. Oceanographic Lab has a drone. Oh, Oceanographic Lab is a university base. I don't care about them. They can have drones all they want. Never mind. Flat and moist with a solar collector. We don't need a solar collector there. We could use, well, tell you what, why don't you build an echelon mirror? That will improve the solar collector next to you as well. That guy's heading down to join the war. You're going to build solar collectors. You're going to build solar collectors. You are going to fly over here and tell me what we can see about the enemy. So, Fort Survivalist. He's got plasma sentinels. He's building an impact skim ship. Hawk of Chiron is building a colony pod. We have lots of units. Ooh, there's another Spartan transport foil. Let's blow it up.
Combat report.
Okay, killed some units there.
Turn complete. Production complete. Production complete.
Last Rose of Summer is going to... I could move to Sky Hydroponics Labs, but instead I want to start building the Maritime Control Center just to get it going. We are going to replace this with a missile cruiser. This transport foil can go over to Morgan Energy Monopoly. It will probably take it too long to get there. Oh well, so this fusion destroyer transport, actually I was wrong, it's a fusion transport and I forgot that fusion also increases cargo capacity. So it can actually carry 8 units, which means this fusion cruiser transport is carrying the entire army that conquered Morgan. And it has 4 extra moves. Our fungicidal fusion former over here can now be swapped out for a network node because this guy is doing fine. We're going to build a condenser right there. And we have some wild mindworms. Ooh, it's been a while since we've seen wild mindworms. Can you capture them?
Careful review of your options.
No, just attack them. I don't want my former destroyed. It will interrupt the construction of the borehole and just be generally unpleasant. So, our transport foils. Yep, we're going to assemble all our transport foils there. No, don't go into Great Lagoon, you ninny. You move down there and start destroying units. They do have a sensor, unfortunately. Where's the sensor? The sensor's over there. Can we get to it? Air units can ignore the zone of control of ground units. So we are going to bomb the sensor array, but our bombing run failed. This missile needle jet is going to go over there and try to bomb the sensor array also, just because I really want to remove that bonus. Nope, bombing run failed. In the meantime, we're gonna found Sea Cradle and get our standard start going. Come on, always with Isles of the Deep. Always with the Isles of the Deep. And I never managed to capture one. Okay, so we've launched our first satellite. When you launch your first satellite, you get to see everything, because now you can have satellites. You've mapped the whole world.
Sky farms are fantastically beautiful, with their kilometre-long networks of glass framed in grids of metal, and the sunlight shining through jungles of vegetation inside. When one of them catches the light, you can see the refracted beauty for miles. They are life-giving stars on a desolate planet, gardens on the wing. Lady Deirdre Sky, Planet Dreams.
Okay, so we've got our first Sky Hydroponics Lab. We are the first faction in space since planetfall in the year 2281. And we are building a missile cruiser, which will only take 2 turns because of our ridiculous mineral surplus here.
Complete.
So now we can see all of the Spartans' territory, and oh dear. The Peacekeepers are better than you guys, and the Peacekeepers are terrible. The Believers are way better than both of you. The Believers have a couple of sea bases up here. There's the ruins. The ruins are an interesting location. If you put a base here, you just have, you know, 6 resources a turn from each of the squares surrounding it, which can be pretty useful. It makes for a very well-balanced base. But the Spartans have done almost nothing. They do have impact squads, they do have plasma armor, but it's just not going to go well for them. Let's get our needle jet down to... Can he reach Ocean Flower? He can't. He can reach Garden of the Deep, though. And we might as well put farms there.
Complete.
So you are going to wait. What we need is we need the Air Force to take out that sensor and then destroy the Spartan army that is sitting out there, occupying the spaces that I want to move on to. So you... Oh, wait. I'm doing this for Zakharov. I thought... Oh, well, I made a mistake. I goofed, guys. I thought that was in my territory. But I was wrong. So, we don't need to do Zakharov any favors. He can do his own frickin' terraforming.
Turn complete.
You Hardened Fusion Destroyer Transport. You just, move on down here. You'll kind of open up the second front.
Complete. Production complete. Maximum population reached.
Gaia's Landing could do with a HAB complex because they have plus 17 nutrients. So in this case, like, that guy can be an engineer. That person can be an engineer. 3424. Well, what was it when he was a worker? 3426. 3226. So yeah, that's the maximum. That's our most efficient option here. Just because we do have these spaces that do produce a lot of energy. Gaia's Landing doesn't really need to be producing a lot of minerals. So we are going to engineer it up a little bit. So this one base is now producing 42 economy and 29 labs. It does have a network node.
Request confirmation.
Let's hurry that HAB complex to increase the population to even more ridiculous levels. And then let's get our labs just pumped up to max.
Maximum population reached.
Okay, Greenhouse Gate has got its thing going on. Greenhouse Gate only has plus 8 minerals because it's supporting a lot of units already. But I kind of want more units still. Well, let's get a Sky Hydroponics
Production
lab.
Complete.
Silverbird Park, similarly, Sky
Production
Hydroponics
complete.
lab. Garden of Paradise, similarly, Sky Hydroponics lab. We're already building the Maritime Control Center at Last Rose of Summer. That'll take us
Insufficient
18 more
energy.
turns. We're going to pump some energy into that to get it down to 16. Actually, Last Rose of Summer, do you need those nutrients? No. You can go over there and grab some energy instead. So you've got that space. Yeah, and that's being mined already. So we'll mine that. Over here, we'll get a solar collector. Over here, we'll get a farm and solar collector. You actually have no one to pick up. We have moved the entire army. Why don't you go start grabbing, you know, pods. Razorbeak wood. Instead of foils, build missile cruisers. Foils are so last century.
Invalid terraform command.
Okay, we're going to wait here for the whole army to arrive. We've destroyed the sensor array now, so now we can start attacking these guys without having that 25% bonus for them. What's your move like? Okay, you've still got 10 move as well.
Turn complete.
So right now we're just weakening the Spartan army up before our assault. We are not in any
The
huge hurry.
Morgans fear what may not be purchased, for a trader cannot comprehend a thing that is priceless. Sister Miriam Godwinson, The Collected Sermons.
She might be right about this, you know. The Morganites may actually be in some way afraid of the spiritual, or at least detest it. So, planetary economics. This is a breakthrough, you know, created by intellectual integrity, actually. So this is kind of a unified system of economics that doesn't concern itself with individual markets and sectors, but instead forms a more interlinked network of the kind that actually this is referring to something that we more or less have in the modern day. It allows the hybrid forest, which is an upgraded tree farm that improves forests even more. It allows the aesthetic virtues, which increases population limits and gives you a police bonus. This is an interesting one. This is introduced by another quote from Yang, and it's very much in line with his ideals of making a virtue of not needing or wanting things personally, not being, a selfish person, but being more interested in the state and the group and the community. It increases commerce income. It allows economic victory. I'll show you what that means in just a second. We're not going to go for that. It takes a very, very long time to get, for one thing. And it allows us to pass the Global Trade Pact, which is a lot less useful for us now that the only people we're trading with are the university and the peacekeepers, because we're at war with both the believers and the Spartans.
Production complete.
64 to 55. I really need to get fusion air power here. So now these transports can start moving down towards the enemy. Now, this is going to be a little tricky because the fact of the matter is I don't have many rovers. And rovers are really the ones... I don't have many rovers and I don't have any marines yet. So those are really the ones that you want in an invasion scenario like this.
Complete.
Oh, resupply pod from the Unity. That's nice. Okay, and we've got our first missile cruiser. Here's our missile needle jet. Let me see if I can just upgrade this. Yes, the missile penetrator. At a cost of, only 30 energy. I'll do that for all of them, right quick. Let's get another condenser. Over here you have a solar collector, so let's put can we put a condenser on top of that? No. Well, let's put a farm on it at least, make that space moderately useful.
Turn complete. Maximum population reached.
Uh-oh, Deirdre's Fishery is having drone riots because they've hit high population. They didn't quite get their network node done in time, so we will have to hurry that. So, let's look at HQ, Corner Global Energy Market. That's the economic victory condition. And what it means is, if you have enough energy to basically mind control all remaining enemy bases simultaneously, you can corner the global energy market and take over the world that way, because everyone gets all their energy from you once you've done that, and so they can't possibly fight you. You'll just cut off their energy supply.
Insufficient energy.
So I need at least 5,516 energy credits to corner the global energy market. We currently have only 271 available. 5,516 energy credits is actually quite attainable. Especially if I were to go into social engineering. Is there some way I can maximize? Yeah, I could turn to wealth. I'd be making almost 200 a turn. So 5,500 inside of 40 turns, I would have enough to corner the global energy market. Unfortunately, I'm in a war right now, so I need to stick with power. I could go to planned. That would actually decrease my efficiency and everything, but it would let me build things faster. But right now, I really like the combination of democratic and green. Yes, it does reduce your support, but it pushes your efficiency way up, it helps you grow faster, and it gives you the mindworm capture chance. So in any case, these fungicidal sea formers are just building me more energy infrastructure. That is a farming condenser spot that can be crawled. We'll remove that fungus. There's an Isle of the Deep, like always. There's another Isle of the Deep, like always. This missile penetrator is actually going to kill that Isle of the Deep because I don't want it around. And this missile cruiser is going to head down here. Okay, so we are going to start the assault landings. We've got our first infantry troops down. The missile rover... Okay, what do they have in Fort Survivalist? They only have plasma sentinels, which aren't going to be able to attack us. So, actually, instead of assaulting on this turn, I'm just going to land all of my troops. Commando trained missile squad, you can go back to Great Lagoon. This probe team can get in here. Now, he'll go back to Great Lagoon when he does this mission. So first, we are going to... I don't think they have any research that we don't have, but I'm going to check. Yep, nothing of interest. Okay. So instead, we are going to mind control probe.
Energy.
That would take 536. You can actually just mind control entire bases, and we may do that next turn. If we don't spend any money this turn, we could just do that. We stole 27 energy credits, but we lost the probe team. Unfortunate. Well, let's sabotage the base a little bit. Just stir things up in there, make a clean getaway. We've destroyed the recycling
Mission
tanks,
accomplished.
and the probe team has been promoted. You, I am going to upgrade to fusion. And you, I am going to upgrade to fusion. And you, I am going to upgrade to fusion. That probe team, meanwhile, can incite drone riots.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, up. Can't
Turn
terraform that
complete.
square. So yeah, we're making 171 a turn. Our transport foil is going to be
Production
exploded.
complete.
Morgan Interstellar, now making 26 minerals per turn. We'll build the aesthetic virtues.
Project initiated.
Copernic Observatory has got its aerospace complex, so we'll get a
Production
sky hydroponics
complete.
lab there.
Drone
Deirdre's
riots
Fishery just got its a network node up, and because we have the virtual world, that also destroys drone activity very quickly. So we are now back in action, back on track. Deirdre's Fishery, however, has about reached its useful limit, so we're going to start turning people into engineers and researchers. I will build a recreation commons, possibly, because we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we're at 7. We can get 2 more. I think they'll be drones. So yeah, I think we will need a rec commons. How many
Request
minerals do I have?
confirmation.
472. I mean, how many credits do I have? Well, you guys can get right back on that transport, because we'll be heading out pretty soon.
Improvement already exists.
Building more missile cruisers at Razorbeak Wood. Razorbeak Wood is just pumping them out with those 17 minerals per turn. Don't need too many. Instead, why don't you get a... So the hybrid forest here increases nutrient and energy output of forest squares. It does have a maintenance of 4 energy, so it's only really useful if you have a base that is almost entirely surrounded by forest. But it increases economy by 50% as well, and it eliminates the ecological damage caused by terraforming. So at Razorbeak Wood, which is surrounded by forest, we are going to build a hybrid forest and show you what it does. It's very
Insufficient
expensive.
energy.
It costs 1,100 energy to hurry quickly. But when I'm done, these will be 3-2-1 squares, so some of the most productive squares in the game except for boreholes. And we will never have any nutrient problems or anything here again. We don't even need that because we're getting so many nutrients from the forests. So we can afford to take the minerals instead. So as you can see, this makes for a very... When you have tree farms and eventually hybrid forests, the all-forest strategy does make for productive, well-balanced bases. Before that, it's trickier and you want to use the advanced terraforming just for the minerals, if nothing else. But at this point, it becomes really viable to build bases entirely surrounded in forest. This missile foil is gonna... Yeah, just come down here. Fight the Spartans. Be a nuisance. We need to get some transports back here. And these guys can come down here and blow up Fort Survivalist's defenders. Nope, let's get the air power. Finish them off with the missile penetrators. Now we have taken Fort Survivalist.
Request
We will
confirmation.
build an... Actually, do we want to build an ECM Plasma Garrison Mark II right away? So let's see. If we take off the laser, does the cost change? No. If we add a particle impactor, the cost does increase. It has a comm jammer. I would prefer AAA tracking, actually. I don't think anyone has air units right now, but they will. So, we want an AAA Plasma Garrison. It would cost
confirmation.
422 credits to hurry. Wow. This
Request
guy only costs
confirmation.
272. AAA is a very good ability that you do need. We're going to get the recycling tanks and a fungicidal fusion former. Actually, Actually, we're going to replace this with recycling tanks. We want the extra resources, and we're going to have a whole army flowing through here, so it's not too worrying to me to not have a dedicated garrison unit at the moment. Hi, Colonel Santiago. You started this. Oh, now you like me. Now you want to flatter me. Nope, too late. I will destroy you. Oh, she's going to send me 475 energy credits? Okay. Sure, treaty. That's fine. Vote an upcoming council meeting. Global Trade Pact. Yes. I'm the one benefiting the most from commerce right now, so I will make this money back, so I am going to pay her to get her to do that. Okay, fine. Now, does this mean that I'm not going to destroy the Spartans? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that I was willing to take all of her money in exchange for not destroying her this instant. Zakharov. Global Trade Pact, you're going to vote yes. Yeah, sure, 22 energy credits. Council, Global Trade Pact. Yay, measure passes, commerce rates doubled. So now, if we go up to Gaia's Landing is making 16 energy from trade. And that increase is going to be mirrored all across the faction. So yeah, we're going to get the recycling tanks. We're just going to move our military units into Fort Survivalist. Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. Our obsolete transports can go back to Great Lagoon for now. This guy can start terraforming again. So, we have made peace. Build a mine there. Build a mine there. This fusion destroyer transport we don't need at the moment, so you can build a network node instead. Actually, do you have a former? You don't have a former. Build a former. This guy can go pop pods. So we've made peace with the Spartans, just basically long enough for us to gather all of our forces and then crush them again. Although we may try to keep them alive and play them off against the Believers, I don't know. The Believers are by far the most dangerous they have. I mean, look at this. They're actually doing reasonable sea terraforming down here. They've done okay terraforming up here. They're using farms, they're using forests, they're using solar collectors. They're not using many mines, so their mineral count is low. And of course, because they are the Believers, their research is abysmal. But look at this. The Rapture is just full of defensive units. Wow. Why? I think this must be something that the AI does when it's at war. They just start building defensive units. The Voice of God is building mindworms, actually. Even though, you know, there's no actual war going on, but they're just building up their military and building it up and building it up, and it's killing them. It's destroying their mineral count. So they've got all these units that they're supporting, and they're not doing any good for them. I mean, let's just look at their military command nexus for a minute for the Believers. 7 formers active, that's good, but 12 impact infantry, 31 plasma garrisons. 31. And they don't have, I mean... Yeah, they have 11, 12 bases. So they have almost 3 defensive units for every base that they own. Plus 5 transports, 17 offensive infantry, 2 more plasma sentinels, 11 impact rovers. They have a huge army for the size of their civilization. I mean, as opposed to me, I have 17 transplasma sentinels across all of my bases, and I have more bases than they have. Okay, 27 total sentinels, I believe. But look at my offensive units. 4 missile penetrators, 4 trained missile squads, 3 trained missile infantry Mark II. So I have actually a smaller offensive army, I believe. And theirs just is much less efficient, and it's eating up all of their mineral reserves to support. But anyway, we'll deal with that when the time comes. I think probably when the time comes, I'm just going to start, you know, dropping nuclear bombs. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of my viewers. If you liked this, leave a like, leave a comment, talking about what you saw, or asking me questions. I'm happy to answer questions, either here or on Space Battles forums. And if you'd like, subscribe to the channel, and more content like this will be coming to you on the regular. So thank you once again, and I will see you in the next one.